Good morning, class. As you can see, I started with my horizon line and a vanishing point, and today we're going to be drawing our single point perspective city scene. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start out by drawing just some simple buildings, some simple forms, using my vanishing point to make them appear three-dimensional. I'm going to start out on one side of the street with just a few simple buildings, and then I'm going to move on to the other side of the street. Notice that I am in fast forward. Please take your time on this. Remember, keep your lines nice and straight. Don't be afraid to erase if you make a mistake. And remember, draw nice and light. It makes it a whole lot easier to erase. As you can see, I'm also adding in a little bit of an addition to this building. I simply moved over where my lines were coming out from the vanishing point. And again, added on a separate front side, or straight on side. I'm going to add in a couple buildings on this other side of the street. I have one about the same size as the building across the street. I'm going to add another one that's much taller. By having one that's taller, it's going to add some interest to the image, and it's going to give us a little bit of some scale to play with. When you're ready, go ahead and erase out your guidelines. Remember, you're not going to need those anymore. Once you get those guidelines erased, then we're going to start to add in some of the details that will change this from simply some individual boxes into our city. Okay, now I'm going to add in some of the details to make this city appear more realistic. We're going to add in some windows, some doors, some things like that. Remember, on any side of the building that's going into the distance, those are the sides that are going towards the vanishing point. They're not straight on. It's really important that you draw your lines so that the tops and bottoms go to the vanishing point. The sides of the windows, which are straight up and down, are vertical. Remember, all lines that are vertical need to remain vertical. I'm going to do a little bit on this building here. Add a window at the top. Again, notice how the tops and bottoms go to the vanishing point. And a door. Again, same thing. All those lines that are vertical must stay vertical. It is really important that if you can draw nice and light, remember to do so. Drawing light is going to make it a whole lot easier for you to erase when you make a mistake and to clean up those guidelines. Now, on this side of the building, remember this part is straight on. That's the part that's going to be facing us directly. We can just draw those windows as we would normally think of a window, being a square or a rectangle. Okay, now let's draw a sidewalk. Okay, once again, the sidewalk is going to come out from our vanishing point, and we need to think of it as three lines, not two lines. You're going to have the line that's going to make up the one side of the sidewalk. You're going to have a line that's going to make up the curb, and you're going to have a line that's going to make up the other side of the sidewalk. That's going to give it that three-dimensional feel, and it's going to make it feel like it's raised up above our street level. Now, when we're making our sidewalk, remember, keep those lines that are horizontal. Keep them nice and parallel to that horizon line, but as they get closer to the horizon line, make sure they get closer together. Remember, one of the things about single point perspective and perspective in general is as things get further away from us, they tend to get smaller. Now, once I get up here, I'm going to start to make those vertical lines, some vertical lines right there on the edge of the sidewalk. That again is really important. We want to make sure that they stay nice and vertical. If they're at an angle, it's going to feel like that sidewalk is actually at a slant as opposed to being a nice straight flat sidewalk. So do your best to keep them vertical lines. Okay, everybody, now I'm going to add in some more details, add in some windows, doors, really kind of make this a personal drawing, make it a city that I find interesting. I'm going to add in some other details. As you can see, this is a town that you can add in like garbage cans, street lights, mailboxes, a couple things you want to remember. Anything though that's far away from you, it's going to be very, very small. Anything that's going to be closer to you, you're going to need to draw bigger with some detail. So a garbage can that's way, way, way back at that small building, close to the vanishing point, where are they going to see it? Something that's up closer, we're going to be able to see all the little details of that garbage can. Again, notice how I'm using my ruler, making nice clean lines, erasing when I need to. Don't be afraid to draw light and erase when you make a mistake. I'm going to add a garage door in over here on this straight on side. I think I'm going to turn this into a shipping and receiving area. Use that ruler. Add a window right up here on this building. Again, don't be afraid to use your eraser. You and I make mistakes. It's easy to do. Just erase them out, fix it up. Again, a nice little detail, add some manhole covers. Lastly, I'm just going to take my pencil and do a little bit of shading. This is just very, very, very quick shading to give it a little bit more depth. Remember, when you're doing a nice finished drawing, you want to take your time on the shading, really make it stand out, make it nice and clean and smooth. I'm just doing this for visual effect to kind of show you and add some depth to this image. Hopefully your city is looking great. Clean it up, make sure you have it the way that you want it, and have fun drawing.